What up, Chipper Chaps? This is Chipper Chap Chat, episode 141. I'm FooRay.
I'm Chamba.
We're going to talk about Captain Marvel today. That seems like a thing we should do, because we both seen it last week now at this point.
Yeah.
But we thought we should wait a while just to be spoiler safe.
Mm-hmm.
So we could also process maybe what we saw.
Absolutely.
Without just taking in what everyone was saying and making that a thing.
Like, our judgment can actually seep in, and we can think about that.
So, first of all, what was your thought going into the movie?
I'm interested.
Yeah?
I'm interested in what they present.
Do you remember first trailer? I remember both of us being like, didn't seem like anything was popping off here. Nothing of Excitebike was happening in that trailer. The first one I was kind of whelmed by.
Just, it was there.
Yeah. Second trailer I remember thinking was very similar.
Yes.
But they did the like, she gets knocked down, but she gets up again.
Her.
Yeah, but then they, I felt like I thought when those trailers were happening, I thought we actually were going to get to see each of those scenarios. I didn't assume the way it was presented in the trailer was what we were
Was it?
Yeah, that was interesting to me.
Like, they pushed it in the trailer, but that was the actual length of what it is in the movie.
Basically. Only one of them is kind of expanded.
Yeah, but barely.
Right. I think that the last trailer that came out right before the movie, I was like, okay, this kind of looks like there's going to be some stuff going on. It was when they had finished some of the effects of her blowing up the ships and all that. Did you remember hearing about controversy going in or any of that stuff?
Prior to it, it's always just it's always just online. It's like, it's just to push for an agenda, all this type of stuff.
Right.
I'm just like, it's just a comic book movie, man.
Just
calm down, bro.
Yeah,
it's entertainment. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't want to see it because you feel they're pushing an agenda, you probably shouldn't watch it.
Right.
Like, for your sake, you know what I mean?
Right. If you're that easily put off,
it's just odd.
By space lady fights space monsters, then it is what it is. I also think there's got to be a certain amount of like separation of the people who will star in the movie versus the characters they're playing. And
sure.
Brie Larson isn't Captain Marvel in real life.
Right.
She's just playing her in the movie, so whether or not you think she's an idiot shouldn't really affect the movie necessarily, or whether or not you're like super on board with her message. I
don't know. That part's just it's still weird.
I feel like they kind of try to do the same thing for Gal Gadot when Wonder Woman was coming out. They started pushing like, well, she's an activist and this and that, and well, she's the lady that plays Wonder Woman now. She was in Fast and the Furious before that. Maybe just chill. She's just a lady, She's just a lady who's playing this character for a whole fuck ton of money.
An actress.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just let it be what it is.
It's entertainment.
Yeah.
That would never have been part of our lives if not for this thing called film.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd maybe go to plays, maybe.
Where we had radio,
Or something.
We had radio. That was the jam back in the day.
Like sitting in front of the radio. It's like, my imagination.
Yeah, dude.
Because it's all about imagination.
Maybe that was better.
Narrating.
Maybe that was better. Now we're
like
relying on like 1,000 people at a time, their imagination, and then they go, "Here's all our imagination," and we go, "Neat."
Love it.
We did. All right. So now that we've gotten through the trailers and the controversy, what did you think of the actual movie?
It was fine.
Yeah. Just fine?
Yeah, it's like, I went in because it's like, okay, base level still. Give it to me in film. Right. Why? This is, a vital part of the story. Stuff happened. It's like, oh, cool. Stuff happened. You're like, all right. You're just like, for the whole film, I'm just like, oh, okay, all right.
Nothing made you go, okay, now I'm on board.
Well, I am on board the Marvel train, unfortunately.
All right.
Like, fortunately and unfortunately, maybe.
Yeah.
Because, like, fortunately, because I'll get gold
Yeah.
most often.
Right.
But then every now and then it's just like, cool. You just, how'd it go?
Right. I feel like for me, it was a surprisingly funny movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of good humor, but
Can't just be that anymore, though.
I don't know if that's what I was looking for with this character specifically, but I don't know what I was looking for. I think my exposure to Captain Marvel in the comics has mostly been, or this version of Captain Marvel has been in stuff like Civil War II and these like crossover events where she shows up.
Yeah.
And to me, she seemed very like she's warm to certain people, but to the exterior, to most people, and maybe this is why she came off stoic to some people. In the comics, she's reserved. She is a military woman, so she's supposed to be authoritative, so that when she takes over SHIELD or she is in charge of Hammer in space or whatever the thing is, you go, yeah, that makes sense to me. So that when Civil War happens and instead of Cap on one side, it's her on one side and Iron Man on the other side, you go, yeah, that makes sense to me. This is going to be a colossal thing. And I don't know if I got that from her, just because, not necessarily how she acted it, but just because Brie Larson doesn't seem like a kind of...
But maybe that's what they're trying to present, where it's like, size doesn't matter.
For sure. But she had stature in the comics. She seemed like a, she's like a buff chick,
She's not like She-Hulk.
I know they sent Brie
Larson to work smaller,
out. Yeah,
but her frame.
Right.
Like, who's one that actually had like an athlete's frame? Jessica Biel.
Sure.
Frame.
Like that type. I don't even know if I would have been that mad at Jessica Biel, honestly. Especially now that she's older. I don't know what she looks like now, but I assume she still looks good. She's got that,
exactly.
wider shoulders. I would believe her punching a dude.
And be like, oh shit, I'm broken. You're actually broken.
I know that is going to be tough to find when you're also going for... I feel like the Brie Larson get was like, she just did crazy good on The Room. She just scored an Oscar. We're going to get an Oscar winner or whatever right as this is happening. Boom, she's our next thing. Yep. It was like a power move get rather than is she right for the character get. Which is why I think... I don't remember seeing that one coming at all. That one seemed real random.
It's like, was she even a contender?
She was great as Envy Adams.
Absolutely. That was almost made for her.
Right, but I just don't...
you'd never see Envy Adams as Captain Marvel.
No.
For me, that's just how I'm trying to see it. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's acting. They can play different characters. But just the visual of the person, I don't think is there, but...
It's fine. When watching it, I was like, it was good.
I thought she did look cooler. If we can now go into maybe the spoiler territory.
Well, all right. Before that, what would you recommend?
I would say sure, because it's a funny movie and some of the action is pretty good. But there's nothing here that's reinventing the wheel, and any of your like highest expectations of what they could do with the Skrull things, they're not gonna really go
into it.
It's pretty self-contained. This story.
Which I quite like.
Which I think is fine. Like if that hints towards anything in the future, I don't know. Hey, look at this dude. Sorry, you guys can't see, but my cat is trying to force his way through window blinds because he sees us outside.
He's gonna his eyes work.
Yeah. In any case, I think it works well on its own. But it's not gonna be... Just keep your expectations at. It's not going to be like this mind-blowing thing. To me, it was not. It's going to do very well, I think, just because it's easy to watch,
and also
the
it
humor
fits
is good.
right between the two biggest ones.
I just don't think that. I don't think that anything that it added to the Marvel universe in the big scale is important outside of Carol herself is very strong, and I guess you get a better look at Fury.
Yeah.
But that's kind of... And I guess the Skrulls exist.
Yeah.
The Skrulls exist, and Carol is very strong. Are the main points you're going to get out of this movie that matter.
Yep.
And
I'm sure they'll even show you that
romp.
in Endgame.
Right.
So it's fine.
I don't know if they're going to get into the Skrulls in Endgame.
No, but they'll definitely get into, she's
But
super
fuck if
super
they do.
powerful.
I'm going to be so into it.
Yes.
I think they maybe shouldn't unless it's a post-credit thing.
I want it. I want that fucking scroll reveal.
But right, I want to see that.
Wait, I
just 'cause
thought
it's a
we
comic
found
thing.
him, I thought we got him out of here.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, you did.
That'd be
They
great.
infiltrated already.
But yeah, so into spoilers now. I don't know if I like the scroll stuff completely. I get the bait and switch of the Skrulls are supposed to be the main enemies, and then we kind of flip it. And I'll give him this. I thought Ben Mendelsohn's character was fun, but I think that if Ben Mendelsohn's character was going to be that, he should have been a one-off. It should have been like a Skrull empire that he was a small refugee group trying to get his family out.
I don't even know.
It could be the case, but it definitely wasn't painted that way.
Right, but if they were to say that in the next film,
Yeah.
it's like, Skrulls are actually evil too.
Right.
But these ones were like, nah, we don't want any part of this.
Right.
We're trying to get out.
Now, I mean, they've shown that the Kree in the past have done bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ronan was Kree, and I guess if you watch Agents of Shield, still they've done Kree stuff there, and they kind of explained early on that whatever the blood stuff was that brought Coulson back to life
Was
in the
Kree.
first place was Kree in origin.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like their special serum or something they made from Kree blood that could bring back an Avenger if one of them died, and they used it on Coulson. Because he's an Avenger too, guys.
Remember?
Remember?
He was a human guy.
So I don't know, man. Because of that, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I like Ben Mendelsohn's character. Again,
He was great.
I really did. I thought
He actually
was funny.
might be one of my favorite characters in the movie.
Yeah, it's weird to me though. I feel like as the character he was as Ben Mendelsohn without this costume on, I feel like he should have been doing a different voice than his own.
Yeah.
So that if he was going to basically be doing his voice as the Skrull, it's not weird that he was impersonating a real person.
Right.
Because that was supposed to be Fury's real boss.
Right, I know.
That he kidnapped and did that to. So that was weird to me, but that's the only thing. I don't even mind that he would sound Australian as a Skrull, because they'd already had aliens that sound Kiwi or whatever.
Exactly.
So to me, that's not weird. But he should have done like an American accent.
Because he can.
For the Shield voice.
He can.
That's my only gripe with his character.
That's so minor too.
And it's real minor. It's not even. It's just if I was gonna change one thing, that would be it. What did you think of the Goose whole thing? Because everybody was saying before the movie came out, "Oh man, Goose steals the movie. He's so great." You don't think so?
No, Goose was cool because he was there.
Right.
But I'm like, oh no, he's nah.
How did you feel about the effect of just when he's a CG cat? Because they went in and out.
Yeah, it was. I noticed times that I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
That's not how the hair does that.
Right.
It's like,
or like things where they would do like something complicated.
Yeah.
As far as cat motion, like there's a scene where the cat is floating in 0G and he has to grab onto someone's arm and climb
I didn't like
onto
that
them,
at
and I
all.
was like, I guess that was kind of accurate looking, but you know it's not a real cat.
Because like whenever you actually see that it's the full real cat, you're like, yes, see,
Right.
that's a real cat.
Right, exactly.
So when it goes to CG, you're like, nah,
Something's
you're
off there.
You're off. Good try.
Yeah, good
But
attempt.
you're definitely off.
What did you think of the whole tentacles thing? Because we had talked about that before the movie came out. Because I had, in the comics,
Right.
that's also true to source material. Although in the comics, the cat's name is not Goose; it's Chewie.
Okay.
But I assume they just didn't want to make another Star Wars reference because they've done that.
You don't need that again.
They've done it with Spider-Man already, several times. The Death Star and him trying to take out Ant-Man like an AT-AT in Civil War.
Right, shit.
So I feel like they were like, he's made enough Star Wars references. Let's cut maybe one of them. And I guess it made it more she's an 80s person because she liked Top Gun, I guess is why she named it Goose. I thought it was fine too. Didn't really particularly work for me. What did you think of the Rambo stuff?
Neat.
Yeah?
But like, alright. Now what though?
Do you think they'll continue that storyline in Avengers, or they'll wait till Captain Marvel 2?
Do it in Captain Marvel 2, because otherwise what else are you going to do with it?
Well, I think we may have talked about it before. My Young Avengers maybe are in Endgame theory.
Alright.
Which, maybe that's a bit much to expect, but I think it would be interesting. But if they ended up doing that, they could totally put Monica's kid as one of those.
Monica's kid?
Yeah, because her daughter is a hero in the comics that she goes on to name herself Photon, which
So
was...
Monica becomes Photon.
Yeah, the young girl. So if that ended up happening, it would be pretty cool. Maybe she'd be teamed up with Cassie, because I know they're supposed to have like an older Cassie in Endgame.
She'd be older, wouldn't she?
In Endgame? If they do 10 years in the future, she'd be, what, like... I don't know, how old is she supposed to be in Ant-Man? I don't even know. Probably like 8 or something. So if they go 10 years in the future, she's 18. Let's say she's 7, she'd be 17. So
Monica around.
if she was 7 in the 90s, then she'd be in her 20s, but she'd still be... Right? Yeah, right? She'd be in her 20s, right? Yeah, I think so. So she'd be appropriate age for that, for a young Avenger.
Like late 20s.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know who else they would put on there. Maybe some legacy people would still be in it. I know they do that time jump to go do the Ronin stuff, but that doesn't seem like 10 years because it's just her hair's like grown out.
I still have no idea what the hell's going to happen in Endgame.
I know, that's exciting.
I love it.
The best part to me is that they're keeping it real tight on what the fuck all the matching white suits is about. We know it's going to be something quantum realm. Quantum realm, that's the new fun phrase. But I feel like what that means, who fucking knows. They did, however, in Ant-Man and the Wasp, spoiler alert, I guess, for that movie, maybe for an Easter egg thing.
Sure.
But when they're in the quantum realm at one point and they're zipping around the fucking goo, there's a bubble with a city in it in the background.
Ugh.
And so if that's something that they end up going to, because there's always, in the comic, there was the microverse, which was connected to like Micronauts, which they don't have the rights to anymore, so they probably wouldn't call it that. But
I'll think of some new name.
I think they
It'll
have
work
a new
out.
name for it, but I don't remember what it is.
So you think that's there?
I think it'd be interesting if they end up all going down to some like
a sub-universe?
Yeah, like a sub-universe to have some huge fight.
That seems so weird in my head, a sub-universe.
I don't know, man.
Like...
That they keep taking us back there. They set up so much of that stuff in Ant-Man and the Wasp of like the time vortex. They had to make sure and name time vortex. Like Michelle Pfeiffer was like, my job is say this thing we're gonna use.
And now I'm a character.
Yeah, now I am character as well. Used to be Catwoman.
Now I'm this.
Now I'm this. Yeah. Now I'm old lady Wasp.
But still cool.
But maybe still
Yeah.
cool. I don't even know if I think she's cool yet.
Nah.
She showed up like
And disappeared with everybody.
yeah, she did the pre Nicole Kidman where she's like in a secret
she
place
healed,
with
too.
the armor, and then she has like healing power with her quantum juice, and she's like, "How'd you get your quantum juice powers?" I was just fucking
Quantum
here.
juice.
I was just here for a grip, and now I have quantum juice powers, man.
Quantum juice is ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
why would you call it quantum juice?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they would.
In any case, I don't know if I think she's cool yet. We'll see how she is used in
Wherever.
game. They're gonna do the big thing, Jeffrey. They're gonna do the thing where they show every Avenger together.
Everybody.
Basically,
Oh, goodness.
they've all got to be in.
Oh, goodness.
I feel like they got to do something at the scale of what the Wakanda battle is, but bigger. Because
Oh.
instead of the army of nobodies,
actually just-
it's gonna be a bunch of people we've seen before, and they're all like, ah, fucking lasers.
My mind is gonna blow. I don't know if I can handle that.
That's what I want. Because I kept hearing a bunch of times there's going to be a shot where you see basically everybody on there, where they're all looking across and they see everybody. And I'm like, motherfucker, give it to me now.
And we waited 10 years.
Yeah. I like that kind of shit is like when I was a kid, I only saw those kinds of things in George Perez shots where it's like 1,000 of every Avenger you've ever seen jumping at a weird angle or something, and you're like, yes, I know, I can name that guy and that guy.
Your description is perfect because none of them are actually going for anybody
Yeah.
specifically. They're just kind of like, we're in mid-air.
Yeah, we're all being
We're-
seen.
yes, and we're all deciding what we're going to do next, but we don't know. So,
Yeah, that's great, man. That's the old school.
but like everybody.
Yeah, dude.
Everybody.
That was the first time I saw stuff like that. When I saw all those characters as a kid, I just remember thinking like, how? How is this possible?
Like, how many people?
Right.
How long did this take?
Right. Did he just start when he was born and now he's done?
And this is every day he does a couple more lines. That's the only way he can get this many lines down. That seems ridiculous.
Hey, that's the kid brain, man. But anyway, I'm excited for that. But this movie,
That's fine.
how did you feel about Jude Law? Because everybody was like, "Oh, they got Jude Law."
Neat. But at this point, that's it with that character.
All right.
You won't
but
see
he
him
wasn't
again.
dead.
Yeah, no, but that
They
doesn't
didn't kill
matter.
him.
He's not important enough anymore, though, in future.
You don't think for another Captain Marvel?
Maybe.
Jan Rog is her main
Sure,
villain.
okay, then maybe for that only.
One
But
of
never
them.
like in Avengers level.
Yeah.
You know
You
what I
don't
mean?
think so? Even though they have Jude Law, you don't think they
I don't know. See, that's the thing. It's almost like he probably could have been somebody else.
That's true. He definitely could have. Because I don't think like he did anything character-wise that made it seem like this had to be him.
Yeah. Like, Doctor Strange has Mephisto, correct?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he was Mephisto?
I think I'd like to see that. I don't know if I'd imagine what that would be like, but I'd like to see it.
Because, like, him against Benedict,
Yeah.
and then a greater dark level,
Right.
that's a whole... He basically has a whole universe.
Yeah. I mean, it'd definitely be cool, but would you do a Mephisto where it looks like Jude Law, or would you just have him, like, voice a big CGI character?
No, right? Kind of like is a hybrid almost, if you can. Or primarily just the way he looks with just
Prosthetics or something?
a little bit of, CG, whatever. No idea.
I think it's very important when you hire a dude like Jude Law.
Sure.
It matters if it's his face or just his voice, you know? But, I don't know. Could be cool. Maybe it was a waste. But maybe it was
Maybe
just-
that's all he wanted to do, that's why.
Right? I don't know. I don't think it had anything to do with him. I think they were just like, get Jude Law. We'll figure out what we're going to do with the character after. Jude Law's going to be the dude. Were you at all bothered by the Annette Bening is Captain Marvel Prime.
I've seen, I've seen like stuff online at this point.
Right.
Where they're like, this is a travesty, all that type of stuff.
What?
Yeah.
A travesty?
Marvel has to be a fella or something. I have no idea.
Has to be a fella.
It's like it's yeah, you did it bad, and I'm just like, but like they shifted the origins. It's what it is at this point. Like it sucks to say, but it's not ours anymore. Like in a way where it's like, oh, it's purely for fans. Mm-hmm. But even then, it's like, just let it be for everybody, too, right? Man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I was as connected to the source material to say that I'm like a diehard of Captain Marvel. Because again, most of my exposure to her is through crossover events. Even I think when I read one with her and Spider-Man, that was just a team up. But I didn't really read any of her solo books. Mostly before this iteration of her with the red and blue suit and her showing up in crossover events, my main exposure to her was that she gave Rogue her powers.
By Gabe got stolen.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much all I knew about her. Was
but then it wasn't Captain.
To make Rogue cool.
Then it was
she was Ms. Marvel, yeah.
So that's why it was like, wait, is that the same character?
Right.
Because when at that point, Captain Marvel was the fella.
Right.
So I was like,
And then I remember her being part of the Avengers Initiative when she like first got back, and she was still Ms. Marvel with the sash and whatnot. I think I was a little disappointed that the sash wasn't there. I think I
like the sash.
I get that they were like, oh, it's just something to grab onto. It's but I hate that argument in superhero stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, you think that she's worried about someone grabbing her shit? She is a Super Saiyan, basically. She's doing Kamehameha blasts.
Yeah, dude.
She's a Super Saiyan.
At this point, she is the Super Saiyan of Marvel.
Yeah.
Because by the end of this film, you'll realize she is the most powerful single being that's not wielding the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right. I think Thor is probably the
closest.
The only other one because I've seen him do things at the scale of some of this stuff.
Right. Now at this point, like if he has the Stormbreaker, that's when it's like, oh, you're super max level Thor right now.
Right. But even in Ragnarok, without the hammer, he was raidening.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, he was.
And he fucking Omega punched Hulk, and if he can fight Hulk without the hammer, he's pretty Omega level.
That's true, because Hulk is like fucking Omega. Yeah.
Right. So,
if Hulk was having if Hulk was having a fist fight with Captain Marvel, it'd be fine.
Oh yeah, she'd be alright.
Yeah. But then she'd probably end up using the...
Which is only confusing because sometimes you'll see her like take hits from like scrolls or something, and you're not sure if that stuff registers in the same way. They kind of have to go up and down with her.
That's what I'm not understanding right now.
I think right now it seems like her output is really high, but maybe not her durability in the same way. I can't, because she got zapped with a thing and then kidnapped.
Yeah.
So she can't be like
that's what I mean. Like,
but
that's why I'm curious what the actual range is.
I think it's about her energy output is what makes her the most strong, because she was cutting through ships and stuff, but it wasn't necessarily like her just. She never just did it with her body, right?
No.
Did she not?
No, she just flew with it, and then she just.
Because now for some reason I feel like I'm remembering a scene where she just like skydived through a thing. And like cut through it with her body. She's just like, fucking whatever, I'm a Super Saiyan.
If that's the case, sweet. But like again, at that point.
But maybe that's only when she's doing Super Saiyan mode.
But that's the thing,
because it is a different thing.
When she does Super Saiyan,
binary.
Right, there we go. Her binary is Super Saiyan, but her regular is still fucking Saiyan.
Right.
Blasting shit.
Right.
But when she has fully gold glow, it's like, oh, it's Kamehameha. All the way.
Yeah, all around.
Every beam is a Kamehameha.
Everybody gets one.
So, but I'm like, in my head, that's why I was like watching, previous films. I'm just like, and you see like videos and stuff of people like, what if Dragon Ball was in the MCU and type of stuff. And I'm just like, no, that's...
No, too many of those
Frieza blows the planet up with a fucking finger.
Yeah, that's too much. It's too
he
much.
does that to every planet. We're fucked. I don't care how super you are on this planet.
Right. then the only
while he's laughing.
Then the only people that would be able to do anything are the ones who have the Infinity Gauntlet. Because
Yes.
it's just
But
strong
then at
enough
that
to be
point,
like, maybe I can just teleport him somewhere.
it's like,
else
yeah,
or
but in
something."
the past he was this already, so he's still doing that shit.
Right.
Who knows, man? That's why I was like,
turn him into Slinkies or whatever.
yeah. As soon as you turn in, yeah. But if he changes Boo just slinks back. It's
Right.
Boo.
Well,
I don't know.
different
Man.
strokes.
That's why I was like, once you put a Super Saiyan in the MCU, they'll be the most powerful thing there.
Right.
Like without anything on top.
Right.
Like
Apparently, you need to be in the DC universe to do anything to a Super Saiyan.
yeah.
Goku or Superman's the only one who can do anything.
Yeah.
Or Dr. Manhattan, maybe.
Oh, Manhattan for sure. He's just like, I'm everywhere, dude.
Yeah. He's like,
What?
you're just vapor.
Yeah,
now.
I'm part of reality. That's just that simple. Ugh, what a weird.
But yeah,
character
so
that was.
I'm curious how they're gonna, because from what I understand, they showed more of that in credit scene where she shows up at the Avengers place. They showed more of it to a select group.
Okay, what'd they say?
They said that it expanded more on what happens immediately after that, some of the dialogue and whatnot. And she says like something like, "We have to go after Thanos," and I think Widow's like, "We tried that already. What's going to be different now?" And she's like, "You have me," and to imply like, "I'm so fucking dope." Like, do you even know? Do you even know?
I'm Super Saiyan, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm the only Saiyan here. I'm Broly.
Right. I'm the only one.
I'm New Broly.
Who do you got?
Because New Broly just, is a fucking freak.
So maybe it's a thing where like Thor is leading some. Do you think they're all gonna go together? I think now that we've seen it, I have a sneaking suspicion that she is the character that was taken out of the in-game trailer where everybody's like, "Who's that standing in the section where it's nobody?"
So weird.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
It's got to be her.
that's her because they've now shown that she shows up there at the facility while everybody's still in the young gear.
Dude, that changed everything.
It really did.
Because it's like, oh, so what's the order now then?
Yeah, because now I'm like, okay, so she shows up and he's already shaved and everything is confusing because then we're like, how far outside of the event were they? Because at Cap at the end of the other one, he's still brunette, got the beard, and they show that he also is that in the original trailer. He's like crying to shit with the beard and stuff still, I think. I just really am curious how they're going to be bouncing back and forth and whatnot now. Like, how if this movie is not 3 hours, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed because I'm just like...
What did they cut?
Yeah, what did you cut? Because there's going to be so much...
Like, you're going to release like a director's cut.
If they do, I'm getting it.
Like a super cut where it's got like 40 minutes or something.
Oh, man, if they do, I'm getting it. It seems like they don't cut a lot, but if they do, I'm getting it.
We'll see. But I have no idea what's going to happen.
I don't think they've done that so far. Put out like a recut one. That's a DC shit.
That's ballsy. Well, it's either we have to make up,
Right. They're like, here's
or it's not
all
like,
the
you know
rest
what?
of the stuff.
You like that movie, right? Have an alternate one just for fun.
Right. Here's a rated R cut. Or
Here's an extended version, just because you like the original one so much.
Just because. Here goes our sunlight. Sad time.
I know.
Any other thoughts on the movie?
I'm glad I watched it
Yeah.
because it was a fine time, but
Yeah.
otherwise I'm just like, cool. On to the next. That's not really what I want to say after watching one of these films, though.
Yeah. I feel like usually with them, I'm like pumped for whatever the sequel is immediately.
Yes. This one, I don't care about a sequel. I just want to know what's next
Yeah, I'm
in the
just like,
timeline, which
all
is
right, get
onto the
into-
next movie.
Get into Endgame so I
Yep.
can see if any of this was mattering.
At all.
Because she's real powerful.
Because
she can cut
you know
through
what?
a
Guess
lot of
what?
shit.
You know when she arrives, they don't know who she is.
Right.
So they're going to ask, who are you? And then she's going to explain what we just watched. So it's like, oh, cool.
Do you think we'll get that explanation, or she's just like, I'm friends with Fury, fucking deal with it?
Prove it. Bro.
Yeah, I'll blow up another
Yeah.
jukebox.
Exactly, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, something silly. I'm just like, cool. You just explain that whole movie. It's fine.
Alright.
And then there's no, like, furious eye thing. Don't matter. Who cares anyways?
That's my one thing, is I almost wish
They fixed that
that
shit.
wasn't in it. That's my... if I have one gripe for the actual movie itself,
the story itself,
is that I super didn't like how the eye explanation was handled. Everybody saw it immediately in the trailer and like, look at him playing with the cat. I bet you the cat scratches his eye out.
And like, oh, bitches, you were right.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you're actually right because we didn't try hard with that one.
Well, because we didn't think of how
all the
simple.
gravity of like in Civil War when they're like, fucking last time I trusted someone I lost an eye, and then they like have the reveal of the fucked up eye and he's like, you gotta think ahead, blah 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 blah, you gotta let them scan your fucking fucked up eye to get in. That was the exact dialogue.
Also, that's why you won the award.
That was the Oscar.
Yep.
The Oscar for Nick Fury.
Bestest line ever.
Yeah. Bestest.
In a movie.
Oh, man.
You know it said bestest.
Yeah, it said bestest. Yeah, for sure. In any case, didn't like that reveal just because all that gravity is now gone of, like, what was the story behind the messed up situation. Like, if it had even just been Talos pretending to be his boss, and then his boss, like, wrecks him in the eye with something, would have been fine, even if it was just that, and that's simple. But then you can't like Talos in the same way.
Yeah.
So make it one of his homies or something.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or
I just feel like they could have done something else to make that eye explanation better. My only gripe, really. Because otherwise it was just like, yeah, it was funny. It was funny, and we got to figure out that she's a Super Saiyan, and whoever her stunt woman is good, because the martial arts parts looked good.
She was great.
But I also like fully didn't think it was like Brie Larson doing it. It felt like, oh, here's my wicked stunt woman doing some cool stuff.
He's
and
Captain.
Then cut back to Brie Larson going like this and then saying
it's
something
like
snarky.
here's Captain Marvel doing the work. I'll be over here.
Yeah, between her actual stunt double and her CGI stunt double, I don't think that she did. I don't think she did what most of the other characters have had to do so far, which is completely like win over.
Did you like her?
I did enough,
Yes.
and I'm curious enough to see where she's going.
I was like, I think that's the thing. I'm just fine with her.
Right.
Like, it's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, like I get it. They kept
it's
saying
fine,
that they kept telling us that she's funny.
Yeah,
and
I was like, no,
okay,
she's fine.
yeah, it's fine. They're good at writing jokes.
It's fine, yeah. Her attitude, yeah, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens next.
I think I was confused a little bit too because they originally in the the sun's back in the behind the scenes pictures we saw where of the origin of her getting the jacket, the leather jacket, and the motorcycle. They showed pictures of her wrecking that dude's hand and like bending him all up and stuff. But in the movie, he just like says something shitty to her and then goes inside, and then she just looks at the bike, and then we're moved on to the next scene. It was like, no, we can't show her wrecking a dude in this way or something. It just seemed like a lot of weird things. When we were talking to Adam about it, he said that his gripe was that he wished they would have saw her murdering Skrulls earlier on, so that when the betrayal reveal happens with Jude Law, that there's more gravity to it because she was doing terrible stuff, which we can assume that she was murdering Skrulls.
For sure, we have to.
But
also, I don't think it was very clear whether or not that was her first or last session as a trainee.
Right.
You know, like a full-fledged.
I couldn't tell if
warrior.
that mission that they went on was supposed to be her first mission as part of the task force or whatever, because they were just like, okay, you're done with your training thing.
Now you're official.
Yeah, go do it.
Yep. Or it's like, welcome to your first official.
Right. But then she gets tased, and then she's a Super Saiyan. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funnier now that it's Super Saiyan.
Did the music stuff bother you? 'Cause a lot of people are like, I know it's the 90s, you don't have to keep playing the music. Like, my roommate was saying he didn't like the I'm Just a Girl, No Doubt thing.
Yeah.
Did that rub you the wrong way?
I think most of it now, I'm just like, cool. I don't care.
I think the only one that threw me off was the waterfalls one. Just because.
When was that again?
It was right when they are leaving the bar. Her and Fury are driving in the car together.
Oh right, what the?
And they are playing waterfalls while they're driving through like the desert.
Yeah, why? Because it's waterfalls and they're in desert.
I guess they were like saying thematically, like you're about to go into territory that's outside of your league or something. I don't know if they were trying to go that deep.
Or it's just like that's a cool song of the time.
Yeah, but they were like, but all the black people in Marvel listen to black people music from the 90s.
TLC.
Oh, right. And what was the other? What was Rambo listening to? I don't remember what Mama Rambo's name was. She was also listening to some song that was funny too. Oh yeah, like you gotta be big, you gotta be big, you gotta be stronger.
Yeah.
Whatever that song is.
The cool song of that time.
Yeah,
I promise you. The cool song of that time. You turn on the radio that song's on, you know what? You let it finish.
Yeah, you let it finish, man.
And then you'll try.
My, oh my, yeah. Yeah, man.
Good times.
Yeah, dude. I should do that song at karaoke. That'd be so funny.
That would be good. Maybe that was fun. Like, I'm glad to have it.
Yeah.
Because the people who enjoyed it, I'm glad
Is it
you
a
enjoyed
buy it on Blu-ray? No? Just it's on Netflix. Maybe I'll check it out.
Absolutely that. It is an absolutely that. And not even like, oh, it just came out on Netflix today. I want to sit and watch it. It's more like, oh, it's been on for like a couple months. Let's check it out again.
Yeah, let's see that one. Why not?
It's been about a year.
Let's see her go Super Saiyan. I'll skip right to that part.
Sweet. That was freaking crazy. Super Saiyan in the MCU.
I am, though, curious with the Russos directing.
Will it be a
with the
different
Russos
character?
writing. How will she interact with the rest of the MCU? Maybe it'll be way better.
I think it'll be better.
Maybe it'll be better.
I don't know if the writing in Captain Marvel was very strong.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know if the directing was super strong either. Yeah,
you know,
by numbers.
Yes, it's like, ooh, we're making movie.
I thought that some of the characters were good. Like I felt like Talos was written pretty well.
Yes,
like
he played it well.
But I don't know how much of
I
that
think
was him playing.
Yes,
on set.
exactly. It's like, you know, I'm just gonna pretend it's part of
like all the like.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be my science guy.
Yeah.
All that stuff was pretty great.
He felt really
natural.
It's weird because like Talos felt the most human.
Right. To
Like,
me, he felt like an Office character who happened to be an alien.
But it was great because he felt more like a person that you'd actually know than any of the other people around.
I guess I just kept waiting for the camera to zoom in on him, like the Office candid shots.
They can't. It's Office is too found.
Just kept expecting it, man. To me, that's how he sounded the whole time.
I loved it. He was great. He's like my favorite.
Yeah, I thought he was great. Australian aliens forever. Jeff is a Skrull officially.
Because he looked kind of like a Namekian.
Well, yeah, kind of. At least the Namekian version.
That's why when I saw him, I was like,
whatever.
it could work.
The Namex?
You could do Namex that look actually cool.
I mean, that's basically how they looked in Evolution.
Yeah, but they were both lacking antenna.
He had the antennas pressed against his meat.
It needs. If it's gonna do that, then have it like go backwards.
Skrulls don't have antenna though.
I know. So I don't want Namekians.
But anyhow,
Yes.
go watch the movie. I guess.
I think like if you don't want to watch that.
Endgame comes out. Endgame comes out in like a month, basically.
So if you really want to know, at this point though, you can probably find out who she is in like a second of Google.
Right.
So,
if you don't want to see it, you don't have to, basically.
Yeah.
Because they're going to tell you all they need to tell you about her when she shows up.
Yep.
But if you want to see another one of these episodes, you want to see a chick go Super Saiyan and cut through a bunch of ships like butter, check it out.
Check it out.
And also Ben Mendelsohn's great in it.
Yeah, he's great.
And also if you like cats, there's a cat who does funny stuff.
He does cat things.
He does cat stuff and
also not cat
stuff. Yeah. I would say the first in-credit scene is worth maybe seeing, I guess.
Yeah.
The second one is funny, but it's not.
It doesn't add.
It's not necessarily worth sitting there. No. You could check that one out on Blu-ray or on YouTube when they put it up on YouTube in like a week.
Yep. Exactly.
But anyway, that seems like enough.
Yes.
So until the next one, guys. Stay Chipper Chaps.
Stay chipper.